Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hoobie186 back again with another video. And this video is going to be about the PlayStation Vita and its struggles. You know, it's been about a year, and I have always said that it takes a console 2 years to kind of get its footing in the market. But facts are facts, man. Right now, I don't think the Vita has a good future as far as how it's going to do in the market. Because I personally do believe that the PlayStation Vita is too hardcore for the handheld market. Now, I'm going to explain the reasons why, and I'll do what I can do to make it simple for anybody who may not understand what I'm going to be saying in this video. Now, first things first, as you can see the title right here in this article, I'll have the link below if you want to read this. This is kind of old, but this is I feel like this still needs to be talked about. The Vita struggles has been very apparent from the get-go, especially here in the United States. I don't know how it's doing in Japan. I did saw an article that said that the release of Soul Sacrifice in Japan, really bolstered the sales of the Vita in Japan. But I have no idea. But right now, in this country, the Vita is struggling pretty bad right now. Now, one of the reasons where I think a lot of the Vita critics, would say, oh well, the Vita has no game. Now, to be fair, if you go to a Walmart, a Target, or a GameStop, whatever, you go to the Vita section, and the Vita section is very, very small. You know what I mean? I've seen it when I've gone to Target or Walmart. You go to the gaming section, you look at the Vita section, and the Vita section is very, very small. However, the Vita currently has over 100 titles on the system that you can get on the system currently. Now that does not include the PlayStation mobile games, doesn't include the PS1 classics, or the PSP or the games that are available from the PSP download. So, when someone says that there's no games on the Vita, they're lying to you. There are games on the Vita. You know what I mean? If you looked at the PlayStation Store, there's like well over 100 games on there that are native Vita games. Like not counting PS1 classics, not counting PSP backwards compatible games. Not talking about PlayStation mobile games. Native PlayStation Vita games. There's over 100, and the system's only been out for over a year. So, as far as I'm concerned, that's a good amount of number of titles available. Now, the problem is that the retail games, there's a lack of retail games, yes, but overall games for the Vita, no. In fact, I heard this in another video that the Vita has just as many critically acclaimed games, at least according to Metacritic, has just as many critically acclaimed games as the 3DS does, and 3DS is a year older. So what does that tell you about the quality of games on the Vita? So yeah, when someone tells you, oh, there's no good games on the Vita, there's no games on the Vita, they're fucking lying to you. Either they don't know because they're stupid, or they're not telling you because they're lying to you. Now, it's time. Now I'm gonna put it out there. One of the problems that the Vita has currently is the fact that they don't have the exclusivity is a problem with the PlayStation Vita. Now let me explain. Now, you look at games like Sound Shapes, you look at games like, the games I've been playing lately, Guacamelee, and, there's definitely other games of that caliber, which are games that you can play on the Vita, that play very well on the Vita, that are games that are made for the Vita, but they're also available on the PS3. I think that hurts the Vita a lot, because, and I understand why they have the games, I can understand why they have certain games like that, because obviously, when you have developers, especially small developers, you want them to get the game to as many people as possible, and getting the game to I just got ignored. I just got a notification. And like I was saying before, smaller developers, like games like Guacamelee, Sound Shape, who are made by small developers, you want them to be able for them to sell to as many people as possible. And the way to do that is to have the game also available on the PS3. You know what I mean? It makes sense from a third-party developer's perspective. But what it does, it hurts the Vita, because now you have two games, two critically acclaimed games. I mind you, two critically acclaimed games that you can get on the PS3. So why would someone get a Vita? Why would someone get a Vita? Another problem that the Vita has is the market that it's in. Obviously, this is no secret what dictates who runs the handheld market, at least as far as dedicated gaming goes. It's the 3DS. Why? Because 1, it's cheaper, 2, it's easier to use, and 3, it appeals to kids. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that 3DS is kiddie, Nintendo fanboys. I'm just speaking the truth here. You have the big name titles. You have, in Japan you have Monster Hunter. Here you have Pokemon and, Mario, Zelda and Mario. You know what I mean? That's what the kids want to play. If the kids aren't really into that, they have tablets. They have cell phones that play games that look just as good on the Vita that they do on the cell phone. So it doesn't help that you have these ridiculously overpriced memory cards which only go up to 32 gigs. That doesn't help your cause either. I went to a store. I forgot what store I went to. But there's many different memory cards, 32 gigs, that are like $30. 32 gigs, $30. 16 gigs, $20. I spent $60 fucking on a PlayStation Vita memory stick. $60 fucking on a PlayStation memory stick. Why do you think people are not interested in buying a Vita? Why the fuck would anybody want to buy a Vita when they can buy a crappy SD card for the 3DS for like $10, $20? Or probably even cheaper than that. It's so stupid. And the fact that the biggest one you guys have is the 32, and those cost $100. You wanna know how much I tried to get a 16 gig memory stick for $30? I called the very top of the Best Buy brass. This is the only time I've ever done this. I went online looking for this memory stick, for the 16 gig memory stick for $30. Went online, out of stock, every Best Buy store within a 100-mile radius of me. Couldn't find it anywhere. Called the lady up. I asked her, hey, do you have a memory? I gave her the SKU number, and she said, no, we don't have any more in stock. We only have them for $60. So I decided to bite the bullet, because you know what? I like the Vita a lot. I still think the Vita is the best gaming handheld out there. It doesn't matter if it's a tablet, a cell phone, or 3DS. Doesn't matter. If you're gonna get the best gaming experience, you get a Vita, at least on the road. But there's a reason why when one of my coworkers asked me, oh, which handheld should I buy for her daughter, I told her straight up, get a 3DS. Because some of the games that they're going to want to buy are going to be on there. Obviously, if you're a kid, you're going to want to play, Mario of some sort, one of the 1,000 Mario games on the fucking system. You're going to want to play Pokemon, that overrated piece of shit. You're going to want to play some of the kids are probably going to want to play some of these games. And, not to mention the fact that all you have to do is, I think the 3DS, if you buy it new, I think it comes with a memory. I'm not 100% sure. If you want to, you can correct me. But you can get a memory stick for nothing. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to use a 3DS as opposed to using a Vita, setting up a Vita. You know what I'm saying? I mean, most hardcore gamers can do that. You know what I mean? Most people who are in the know with the video game industry, I'm sure a lot of kids can be able to set up a Vita perfectly fine. The problem is that when you're in a market where you have games on a tablet and on a cell phone that cost next to nothing, can look just as good as what the games you can get on the Vita. Why would they buy a Vita? Especially when they have to deal with the fact that one of the versions is only 3G, which was a mistake of having a 3G model and a Wi-Fi model. As far as I'm concerned, what they should have done was have a Wi-Fi / 3G model and be the only model out there. Give the consumers the choice to choose between not AT&T, not just AT&T, any cell phone provider that they have. Put a SIM card in there, or just go straight Wi-Fi. Give them the option. Having two SKUs was a mistake. Having two SKUs, I think, was a mistake. You know what I mean? Like, the cold hard truth is that the Vita is too hardcore for the casual market. You have one group of people who are just gonna want to play Pokemon and Mario and all that other crap. You know, they're going to want to buy something that's cheaper, which 3DS is, obviously. You know, you're gonna want the handheld that has more games, which is, you know, despite the fact the system's been out a year older, but it does have more games. And then if you're not into that, you just want to use your cell phone that does everything that you want it to. We have a superior browser, more apps, superior apps. Even though I do think that the Vita has the best Twitter app, I will say that. But regardless, it has the cell phone tablet has better apps, more apps. You could talk on the phone. You can do all this stuff and play games for basically next to nothing. And while the Vita does have a lot of great games that are not expensive, like Guacamelee, I think was $12 for me. What other game was let me see, what other game did I not spend a lot of money on? There are tons of games on the system that are not expensive at all. But the problem is that you're not going to get someone to buy a $300+ machine or device just to do what they can do easily on their cell phone or the tablets. You know what I mean? It can't be done. It cannot be done. So, you know, basically, what does the Vita appeal to? Who does the Vita appeal to? You know what I mean? You know, I'm sure that if, like, the last thing Sony's done, at least in this country, that they have to do is a price cut. You know what I mean? We don't know. I don't even know if a price cut would help, would hurt. It would help. I mean, but you know, it's worth a shot, because when it did a price cut in Japan, it worked to an extent. You know what I mean? And obviously, you know, more and more games are coming out for it in Japan. You know, so that's the good news. That's good news there. That, like, Vita, as far as retail goes, seems to be pretty healthy in Japan, at least as far as I can tell. You know what I mean? If I'm wrong, you can let me know. Regardless, it doesn't matter, because I don't live there anyway. But here is dying right now. Is dying, and I don't think that having it, you know, be connected to the PS4 the way that they have it as far as streaming goes, I don't think it's going to work ultimately. I don't think it's going to work, because now you run into another problem. What is the Vita about? The Vita, to me, is supposed to be its own standalone handheld. You know what I mean? If you have every game be able to be streamed from the PS4 to the Vita, then that means, are you going to get a version of Call of Duty on the Vita that's only on the Vita? Are you going to get a Madden game exclusive for the Vita? What about Grand Theft Auto? Are you going to get a Grand Theft Auto game exclusive for the Vita? You know what I mean? That's a problem. That's one of the problems that it has. As stupid as it sounds, the system doesn't have any type of system seller, and apparently system sellers are important. You know what I mean? Even though, as far as I'm concerned, the system seller is the system itself. It does everything I want it to do, and it has awesome games. But for some people, they need that one big hit in order to justify buying the system. It's as stupid as that sounds. It's the truth. You know what I mean? Like, you have Assassin's Creed, which is, you know, apparently both Assassin's Creed and Call of Duty, that piece of shit Call of Duty game, actually sold very well on the Vita. So they could. I think I heard that they will make a sequel for the Vita for Assassin's Creed. I don't know about Call of Duty, because I mean the game sold well, even though it was critically panned. So I don't know if we'll see another one. But it does need some of those big name titles. But if it doesn't have an install, if it doesn't have the structure, if it doesn't have, if the system doesn't have an install base, they're not, third-party developers are not going to make games for it. It's not going to happen. So, you know, man, this video's gone on 15 minutes, but I mean, this is something that I wanted to talk about, because this is just me ranting. You know what I mean? I mean, look, like I said before, I think the Vita is the best handheld on the market today. Let me pull it out. Oh shit! Oh, it's right there, right down there. I still think that the system's the best handheld on the market. I think that I think it does have, for what it has, as far as the type of games that it has on it right now, I think it has better games than the 3DS. At least it has the games that I care about. You know what I mean? Hold on a second. The Super Stardust Delta, fucking awesome game. Digital shout out. You know, I got the PSP games right here. Name a 3DS fighting game that's better than any of these. And these are all PSP games, by the way. And then you have the retail games that I have right here. Golden Abyss, which, you know, apparently, according to a lot of people, it sucks because it doesn't match the quality of the Uncharted of the console. Which is funny, because they seem to make excuses about games like, oh, they say, oh, Mario Kart, oh, it's awesome on the 3DS, despite the fact that it's the inferior version. And they talk about, oh, you know, oh my God, look at the Ocarina of Time on the 3DS. Oh, look how awesome it is. Oh, but you know, Uncharted 3, oh, Uncharted Golden Abyss, that game's garbage. So it's so stupid. But this is the situation that Sony put the Vita in. That's what they put. They put the system. They put the handheld in this situation to begin with. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't know what they can. I don't know what they can do to fix it. I think the last ditch effort I see is a price cut. But you know, I don't know if that's going to happen, because you know, you don't know what's going to happen. So, just to summarize, this is how I feel. I still think the Vita is the best handheld on the market today. But obviously, when you look at the success of the 3DS, you look at the growth of the mobile gaming market, as you know, when it comes to cell phones and tablets, the Vita is simply just too hardcore for a casual fan base. Because those are the people who buy who's part of the mobile gaming market. Is the people the people that the Vita are trying to go for. Obviously, the Vita is trying to go for a more mature audience, but the problem is that audience have cell phones. You know what I mean? They have cell phones, they have tablets, they play their games on it for like 15-20 minutes. That's all they need. They need a quick fix. That's all. They're not gonna spend $300 to get a quick fix. They're not going to spend $300 for a dedicated gaming device just to get something that they'll do for 15-20 minutes. Not gonna work that way. Especially when they can play games on their cell phones for cheaper, and the cell phone's gonna have everything that they want as far as apps and as far as functionality. Something that the Vita simply cannot match. You know what I mean? And then for the younger crowd, obviously, since the parents are going to be buying it, they're going to buy what's cheaper. They're going to buy what appeals to them, and they're going to buy the 3DS with the games that they have on it, with the rehashed pieces of crap games that they have on it, and that's just how it is. That's just how it is. You have a group of you know, basically the only people that you have to buy it are basically the PlayStation fan base, and a lot of PlayStation gamers are not into handhelds. And if they were into handhelds, they're going to go to where either most of the games are, or not handheld gamer, or they're gonna go for the cheaper route, or go for the place where the games are. Yeah, I mean, I'm just being honest. You know what I mean? Like, it's disappointing because I do think the Vita is awesome, and I do think that the 3DS is a pile of shit. But you know, the truth is the truth, man. It is what it is, and you know, whatever. Like I said, I'm happy that I spent over $400 on it. I think it's worth every penny. I still think the games are awesome, but you know, if let's say if you're watching this video right now and you're thinking about getting a Vita, I think you should get one. But if you're either a parent, you know, if you're someone that's looking to you know, if you want your RPG fix, if you want your Mario fix, well, you know, if you want that stuff, you're not gonna get that with the Vita. If you want unique gaming experiences, if you want to support a device that actually looks like a new cutting edge, it looks like it's new cutting edge technology, you get a Vita. If you want something that looks dated, but has games on it, you get a 3DS. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it is what it is. This is probably my longest video ever. But you know, it is what it is, man. This is Hoopy 186. I'm out.